the attacking options that Liverpool now have, obviously bringing in Gakpo. I know that obviously Diaz and Jota are injured at the moment, and that's the reason for bringing him in, but they have got a plethora of talent to play at the top end of the field.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, Adam. Don't stand still. And, you know, Manchester United were big favourites to get Gakpo, and Liverpool nicked him at the end. I heard Van Dijk was very important in that deal. He had a little chat with him saying what a club Liverpool are, which we all know, a massive club around the world. So is Manchester United. But he's got the deal over the line, which he'd be delighted with. But Firmino, he's been a great servant to Liverpool. 348 appearances, 107 goals. So, you know, that's an amazing return for someone like Firmino. And he's a sort of player that he's a real link-up player, a little bit different. So I'm sure that you want a big squad of players. You're always going to get injuries and suspensions. So, you know, you need players to come into the team. So Firmino, I'm sure he'd love to keep him. But Gakpo, I'm really looking forward to seeing what he does when he turns up at Liverpool. But I can see him in top four. I just can't see Liverpool not being in that top four. I think they're going to have a good run now. They do give you chances, though. Yeah. Even against Villa. Yeah. You know, on another day, they could have had 2 or 3 goals, Villa. Just couldn't finish that last bit of it, the last third. But, you know, they're great attacking ability going up front. Mo Salah's always going to score your goals. Núñez as well. He's just got to time his runs a little bit better because he's offside so often. Yeah. But you can see the energy he has, what he brings It
causes chaos.
He does cause chaos. Chaos. You know, it was a lot to do with the last goal for Liverpool the other night. And he just needs that little bit of confidence in front of goal for me. But he never gives up, does he?
No, he doesn't.
He always keeps making the runs, and I think he's been a really good signing for Liverpool. Really
I do,
good.
and I think he'll come good. Once those goals start going, I think he'll come good. Micky Gray's on commentary tonight at Anfield, and he joins us very kindly this morning. Mick, how are you, mate?
Morning, Mickey. Lads. How are you?
Yeah. You know, obviously dealing with the sad news that obviously Pele he lost his battle with cancer at the age of 82. We've been talking about that throughout the course of the morning, and obviously just trying to shed light on that and a few stories, and then point us in the direction of the football that is happening this weekend, and more so than what's happening at Anfield tonight. And I know that you're on commentary for Liverpool versus Leicester, which we're bringing to our audience from 8 o'clock. Ray's just been speaking there about the race for top four, Mickey, and I tell you what, it's going to be some race this year, isn't it? There's some big sides that are not going to be playing Champions League football next year.
Without a doubt, madam. I think you know there's 7 big sides now. You have to put Newcastle into that conversation, and 7 doesn't fit into 4, does it? I think the Premier League's really healthy at the minute. Some of the football that we've seen just prior to the World Cup, and then obviously after the World Cup's been absolutely fantastic. And there's no slip up for any of these sides at the top of the table. And Liverpool certainly being one of them who are obviously chasing the coattails of everybody else in the top 4. They can't afford to lose any football matches, but it's going to be a tough one against Leicester tonight.
Mickey, I've just got to go back to the Aston Villa game. Now, you know, the opening 10, 15 minutes, Villa had 2, 3 great chances. Yeah. So I think Jurgen Klopp will look at it and say, look, we won the game in the end, but we've got to be that little bit more defensive-minded at times, especially starting games, because you go a couple of goals behind, you're always chasing the game. I know they've got players to get back into the game, but you don't want to be losing them early goals. And that was a little bit shaky for the first 5 or 10 minutes against Villa.
Yeah, I agree with you, Ray. They seem to have a problem at the back, don't they? But I think they look as if they're getting the back 4 fit again. They played with each other, I think, for the first time for a long, long time, which was really surprising to actually see. I didn't realise how long it had been for Alexander-Arnold, Robertson, Van Dijk and Matic to play alongside each other. So that's going to be important for them, obviously, moving forward. Look, you're right, they do concede goals. They've only kept 4 clean sheets this season, which when you look at the other sides around about the top of the table, you know, you're looking at 6, 7, 8 and 9 clean sheets. So that's something that they've got to sort out themselves. I'm sure Jurgen Klopp's had a look at that. But you're right in mentioning their forward players. I mean, they've got some wonderful players, haven't they? I mean, Salah is one that obviously springs straight to mind. I mean, his goal scoring record for Liverpool is absolutely fantastic, and I think he's so key for Liverpool moving forward, certainly into the second half of the season. Albeit, I mean, Gakpo's going to be he's going to be joining Liverpool in January, so another great addition to the forward line for Liverpool. But I think what they're doing better now, Liverpool, which they probably didn't get right many years ago, is they're not standing still. Yeah. Jurgen Klopp's having a look at the age of his side. He's changing the forward line. He can obviously rotate whenever he wants to. And I think the place is very healthy. And let's not forget, at Anfield. One game they've lost in 31 at Anfield. It is a fortress. It's a hard place for anybody to go. And I think it's going to be a really entertaining night tonight for Liverpool, and it's going to be difficult for Leicester.
We'll talk Leicester in a minute. I just want to. You just mentioned the Gakpo deal. You've got to commend the way Liverpool do their business, because everybody thought that the Gakpo was going towards Manchester United, but Manchester United keep making a pig's ear out of things that they're doing, and Liverpool just quietly, they go about the business, very stealth-like, and next thing you know, you've got a player in front of a Christmas tree holding a shirt, and he's one of their lot. They do it so well, don't they?
Well, yeah, it looks like a good signing again, Adam, doesn't it, for Liverpool? I mean, you look at the forward players that they've got, and let's not forget Gakpo in the World Cup. I mean, he lit it up, didn't he? Certainly in the group stages with his 3 goals. We just heard about him probably about 6 months to 12 months just prior to that. And you mentioned Manchester United. Yeah, I think they looked as if they were favourites to take him, but it's been done. The contract's been signed. I think it ends up going up to about 45 million quid. And in this day and age, I think that's an absolute bargain, isn't it? For somebody of his age, his talent, and somebody who's got an eye for goal. He can play on the wing. He can play through the middle. So it puts pressure on people like Firmino and Núñez as well. So I think, yeah, absolutely. In those 4 positions, Liverpool, they're very, very strong. And let's not forget some of the younger players who they've got breaking through into the starting 11 as well. But I think maybe another position that Jurgen Klopp has to look at is that midfield area. I think, obviously, no time doesn't stand still for anybody. So I think, it's aging a little bit. It's not to say that they haven't got bad players, but that's maybe something that they might do in January. If not, it'll be the summer. But I'm along with Ray. I do think Liverpool will finish in the top 4 come the end of the season.
Looking at Leicester, Mickey, look, they go there, and obviously Liverpool big favourites. Brendan Rodgers, I know that. Maddison it's another big blow, isn't it, for Leicester, because he got into that World Cup squad. I really want him to feature a little bit more, but he didn't get his opportunities. But that's a dragging situation where he's got to see a specialist again about his knee, and you need him in the side if you're going to have any chance. And they had a really good run, didn't they, before the end of going into the end of the first part of the Premier League. Yeah. Obviously, they had a tough game against Newcastle. We all know Newcastle, what they're achieving at the moment. But this is where do you expect Leicester to finish the season? Mid-table, or try and get in that top 8, top 10?
Well, yeah, I mean, if you look at the table rate at the minute, and Leicester haven't had a brilliant season, look, it's going to be a tough ask if they win the game against Liverpool tonight, but that actually gets them back into the top 10, which has surprised me because they got off to such a slow start. There was pressure on Brendan Rodgers. Was he going to keep his job, or was he going to lose his job? But they seem to have turned a corner, haven't they? If you take away that Newcastle performance, where Newcastle, they dominated that game and they deserved to win it. But another surprise for me is I was just having a look at Jamie Vardy. He's not scored a league goal this season. Yeah. I mean, I know he's not played a lot, but that's down to the form of other players, Barnes and Daka and Perez as well. So, yeah, it's a bit of a strange one. I think, look, Leicester are going to be fine. I do think they'll finish in the top half of the table come the end of the season when everything's all done and dusted. But I think certainly Brendan's got work to do in the transfer windows, whether it's this one in January or whether it's going to be the summer. Maybe just to freshen things up. And you mentioned Maddison there as well. I mean, the speculation's not going to go away. I think Newcastle are one of the sides who are actually wanting to take him. Whether that happens, again, you talk about transfer windows, whether it's January or whether it's the summer, but he's having a brilliant season. I was surprised as anybody that he didn't really get any minutes or game time in the World Cup. But they need to get him fit as quick as they possibly can because he's an absolute superstar for Leicester this season. But yeah, they'll be fine.
Scarves, hats and gloves for you tonight, mate, is it? Snood? Are you going for a snood?
Absolutely, mate. I'm getting worried about you, Adam. I think your accent's starting to change. You spent that much time in London.
I'm on my way. I'll come back and get some freezing weather very, very shortly, mate. Listen, enjoy it, top man.
Cheers, Mickey.
Mickey Gray commentaries tonight from 8 o'clock. Get stuck into that as Leicester take on Liverpool at Anfield. Plenty more to come on talkSPORT Breakfast very shortly.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.